Stop people from disrespecting you. Stop letting them treat you like your time, your effort, your energy doesn't matter. Because here's the truth. People will only treat you the way you allow them to. If you keep giving discounts on your value, don't be surprised when they never pay the full price. Respect is not asked for. It's demanded through your standards. And if you don't build those standards, the world will build them for you. And I guarantee you, they'll set them low. Some of you are out here letting people walk in and out of your life like it's a revolving door. They take what they want, they leave the mess, and they come back whenever they feel like it. And you keep opening the door. That's why you feel drained. That's why you feel small. You're handing over power that was never meant to be given away. You've got to teach people how to treat you. And you don't do it with long speeches. You don't do it by begging them to change. You do it by changing yourself. You do it by enforcing boundaries. By making it clear that your respect is not up for negotiation. The day you start saying no to disrespect is the day people start taking your yes seriously. See, there's a difference between kindness and weakness. Don't confuse them. Be kind, but don't be a doormat. Be generous, but don't be used. Be humble, but never let anyone mistake your humility for submission. You don't owe anyone access to you. Access has to be earned, and the price is respect. And when people disrespect you, don't waste your breath trying to prove your worth. Don't fight for a seat at a table that was built to belittle you. Build your own table. Create your own circle. Because nothing is louder than silence when you walk away from a place where you're undervalued. So the lesson is simple. Stop tolerating what disrespects your soul. The more you entertain disrespect, the more you'll invite it. The moment you decide you've had enough, that's the moment the game changes. You don't just gain respect from others, you gain respect from yourself. And once you respect yourself, the world has no choice but to follow. Teach people how to treat you. Because every time you let something slide, you're training them. Every time you stay silent when they cross a line, you're teaching them that line doesn't exist. People don't magically know your worth. You show them through your standards. If you accept crumbs, they'll never bring you a full plate. If you laugh off disrespect, they'll think it's part of the deal. You have to understand, the world doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you demand. Standards are like the walls of your house. Without them, anybody can just walk in, track dirt on the floor, break your furniture, and leave you to clean up the mess. But once you build those walls, once you put locks on your doors, suddenly people have to knock. They have to respect the space before they step inside. Think about it. If you go to a luxury store, you notice the difference immediately. They don't treat you the same way as a bargain shop. Why? Because their standards are higher. The presentation is higher. The energy is higher. And people walk in already prepared to meet those standards. Now imagine your life the same way. If you carry yourself like a bargain bin, people will toss you around like cheap goods. But if you carry yourself like something valuable, they'll adjust to meet your level. That's not arrogance, that's self-respect. You've got to stop apologizing for expecting the basics. Respect is not extra. Effort is not extra. Loyalty is not extra. Those are the minimum requirements to sit at your table. Too many of you are lowering the bar just to keep company around you. But here's the truth. If someone can't rise to meet your standards, they don't belong in your circle. Let them fall away. The people who are meant for you will never be pushed away by your boundaries. They'll be drawn to them because boundaries protect not just you, but the relationship itself. Daily life proves this over and over. At work, if you keep letting your boss pile on tasks without recognition, guess what? They'll keep doing it. If you're always the friend who gives, pays, listens, sacrifices, but you never speak up when it's not returned, you've taught them that your role is to be used. And in relationships, if you allow lies, disrespect, or laziness to continue without consequence, you're writing the script of how they'll treat you tomorrow. The truth is, you're always teaching people how to treat you, whether you realize it or not. The question is, are you teaching them respect, or are you teaching them to take advantage of you? Kindness is not weakness, but too many people mistake it for that. Just because you smile, just because you help, just because you choose peace over drama, doesn't mean you're soft. Being kind is a choice, and choices require strength. Anybody can lash out, anybody can insult, anybody can throw anger around. That takes no discipline. But to stay kind in a world that constantly tests you, that's power. The problem is when people see you giving without limits, when they see you forgiving without boundaries, they start thinking they can take advantage of you. They think your kindness is an open invitation to use you. That's where most people get it wrong. You can be kind, but you don't have to be a doormat. You can give, but you don't have to bleed for everyone who asks. Look at daily life. At work, there's always that person who keeps saying yes to everything. Can you cover my shift? Yes. Can you stay late? Yes. Can you fix this problem that isn't even your responsibility? Yes. And at first, people admire it. They call you reliable, dependable. But if you never draw the line, soon they stop seeing you as kind and start seeing you as convenient. They stop appreciating you and they start exploiting you. And that's when you have to stand tall and remind them, my kindness is a strength, not a weakness, and you will not abuse it. Same thing in relationships. You can love someone deeply, you can give them your best, but the moment they start treating your love like an obligation instead of a gift, you've got to step back, because real kindness includes kindness to yourself. If you keep pouring from your cup to people who never refill it, eventually you'll run dry. That's not kindness. That's self-neglect. And the truth is, the more you allow it, the more they'll believe it's normal. Kindness doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. Kindness doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. True kindness is when you can say, I'll help you, I'll care for you, I'll give you my time, but I will not let you abuse me. That's strength. That's courage. Because it's easy to fight fire with fire, but it takes a strong soul to stand in control, to choose compassion without losing dignity. Never confuse the two. A kind person with boundaries is one of the most unshakable forces in this world. Boundaries protect your energy, because every second you spend tolerating nonsense, every minute you allow someone to drain your spirit, is time stolen from your potential. People think respect is given freely, but respect is earned through what you accept and what you refuse. If you allow anyone to walk over you, if you allow excuses, lies, laziness, and manipulation to continue without consequence, you're telling the world that it's okay to disrespect you. Boundaries aren't walls to shut people out. They're signals that define the space you occupy in this world. They're declarations that your time, your energy, your peace are not negotiable. When you draw that line, you're not being harsh, you're being strategic. You're not pushing people away, you're teaching them the value of standing on your terms. Think about your day-to-day life. At work, maybe your boss keeps adding tasks that aren't yours, Maybe coworkers keep dumping problems on you that they never want to solve themselves. If you say yes to everything, you're training them to treat your energy like it's limitless. But the moment you set boundaries, maybe you say, I can take this on, but not at the expense of my priorities. Suddenly people start noticing. Suddenly people start respecting the limits you set. Boundaries don't just protect you, they elevate you. They create clarity, structure, and a sense of authority in your life. In friendships, boundaries are just as critical. If someone constantly disrespects your time, cancels plans last minute, or only reaches out when they need something, it's not cruelty to step back. It's wisdom. It's understanding that your energy is finite and sacred. By rejecting what diminishes you, by refusing to tolerate repeated disregard, you teach others what is acceptable and what isn't. You send a message that respect isn't optional, it's earned. Even in relationships, boundaries are life-saving. Tolerating lies, manipulation, or neglect isn't love, it's surrender. Protecting your energy means refusing to carry someone else's weight while ignoring your own needs. Saying no doesn't make you unkind, it makes you smart. Every boundary you set is a declaration that your life, your spirit, your time, and your heart are not free for exploitation. You attract respect not by demanding it, but by making it clear that disrespect will never find a place in your presence. Boundaries turn your life into a magnet for people who value you and a filter for those who don't. Don't fight for space where you're disrespected, because no argument, no explanation, no amount of begging will ever make someone value what they've already decided to take for granted. Too many of us waste years, months, even days trying to force our presence into places where our worth is invisible. You keep showing up, keep proving yourself, keep lowering yourself to get acknowledgement that was never coming, and all you do is drain your energy, your spirit, your confidence. Respect is not a favor you fight for. It's a currency you earn. And if someone doesn't see your value, it's not your job to educate them through struggle. Your job is to walk away and let them face the emptiness of what they lost. Everyday life proves this over and over. At work, there's that colleague who constantly tries to overshadow you, that boss who never notices your efforts, that environment that makes you feel small. You keep fighting for recognition that will never come because they don't want to see it. And in relationships, you stay in conversations, friendships, or partnerships that diminish you, thinking if you just try harder, just explain more, just prove your worth, things will change. But they don't. The only thing that changes is how much of yourself you lose trying to convince someone to care. Walking away isn't surrender, it's strategy. It's saying, I refuse to stay where I'm undervalued. I refuse to spend my life on people who cannot see my worth. And when you walk away, you create space, space to grow, space to thrive, space to find people, and places that actually reflect your energy back to you instead of draining it. You build your own table, your own stage, your own environment where your efforts are celebrated, your presence is honored, and your contribution is recognized. That's how real value works. You don't demand it from those blind to it. You cultivate it within yourself and attract it to you. Look around you. The most successful, respected people in every field didn't beg to be included where they were disrespected. They walked away, built their own lane, and made the world catch up. That's the lesson. Don't fight for crumbs at someone else's table when you have the power to bake your own feast. Don't waste your energy on people or spaces that will never see your worth, because every step you take away is a step closer to building the life, the circle, the respect, and the legacy that you truly deserve. Self-respect is the foundation of all respect, because nothing external can hold value unless it starts from within. If you don't honor yourself, if you allow yourself to be small, overlooked, or dismissed, the world will mirror that energy back to you. People sense weakness, uncertainty, and hesitation, and they act accordingly. Respect is not something you beg for. It's not something you negotiate. It's something you radiate by how you carry yourself, by how you refuse to compromise your principles, by how you protect your dignity even when it's inconvenient. The moment you stop tolerating behavior that diminishes you, the moment you start valuing your own time, effort, and presence, the world begins to adjust. Think about daily life. At work, self-respect shows up when you refuse to take credit for others' mistakes, when you stand firm on deadlines, when you insist your ideas are heard rather than hidden. You don't demand respect from your colleagues. You demonstrate it in your actions, in the standards you uphold. And eventually, people catch on. They learn that this is someone who won't be walked over, someone who won't accept shortcuts in character or ethics, someone whose presence and contributions matter. The same principle applies in friendships. The moment you stop bending over backward to please everyone, the moment you stop giving away pieces of yourself for validation, you teach people that your time and energy are not disposable. Self-respect is a quiet power that commands attention without shouting. In relationships, self-respect is even more critical. It's the courage to refuse to accept lies, manipulation, or neglect. It's the strength to say no to patterns that hurt you, the wisdom to walk away from dynamics that diminish your spirit. And when you act from that place of honor, the people around you adjust, consciously or unconsciously. They either rise to meet you, or they step aside. And that's how the world naturally enforces your boundaries. Even in the smallest interactions, self-respect matters. How you speak to a waiter, how you carry yourself in a crowded room, how you respond to rudeness, it all adds up. When you honor yourself, your tone, your posture, your presence communicates it without words. And that energy is magnetic. People start noticing, people start adjusting, and people start treating you the way you have always deserved. Because respect isn't about intimidation, it's about consistency, it's about integrity, and it's about refusing to settle for less than your true worth. Self-respect isn't learned in a day. It's forged through choices, through discipline, and through the courage to never betray your own value. And here's where it all comes together. Let me tell you something. Life will never hand you respect. It will never hand you power. It will never hand you recognition on a silver platter. The world doesn't owe you anything. Every single person who has achieved greatness, every single individual who has walked away from mediocrity and stepped into their own power, they didn't wait for permission. They didn't beg for validation. They demanded it from themselves first, and the world was forced to follow. You want respect? Start by respecting yourself. You want success? Start by refusing to tolerate anything less than what you're capable of. You want a life that commands attention? Then stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Remember, the only limits you have are the ones you accept. Every excuse, every compromise, every time you tolerate disrespect, it chips away at the future you're supposed to claim. You've got to be bold. You've got to be relentless. You've got to be the one who says, I will not be treated like less than what I am worth. And once you do, you'll realize something incredible. The world doesn't challenge your boundaries forever. People adjust. People learn. People follow the energy you set. And it all starts with one decision: one choice to refuse to accept less than your value. You've heard it before, and it's true. You teach people how to treat you. And let me add this. Don't just teach them with words, teach them with action. Stand tall when others doubt you. Walk away when they disrespect you. Hold your head high when they try to push you down. Every step you take in honor of yourself is a step that strengthens your influence, your power, and your legacy. Because in the end, nobody can give you the dignity, the respect, and the value that you grant to yourself. It all begins internally, and it radiates externally. So I'm telling you right now, stop apologizing for your worth. Stop bending over backward for people who will never appreciate it. Stop fighting for crumbs when you're capable of baking your own empire. Hold your standards high, draw your lines firmly, and protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. And when you do that, when you finally refuse to accept anything less than greatness, you'll realize something profound. The people who are meant to be in your life will rise to meet you. The opportunities that belong to you will seek you out, and the respect you've demanded from yourself will become the magnet that pulls everything else into place. Because as Denzel Washington said, file forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. And every time you honor yourself, every time you refuse disrespect, every time you protect your energy, you're falling forward into the life you were meant to claim. This is your moment, your stand, your power. And the world will never forget it.